So.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This week we're taking you to the Escape Game on International Drive. Live from the Bob Varley studio in Orlando, Florida, you're watching The Trip. This is The Trip, episode 39 for the week of November 11th, 2015. The Trip is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect vacation, whether it be theme parks on the West Coast, East Coast, or on the seas. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Trip, a little show about something we all love called vacation. I'm Jenny Lynn.
And I'm Teresa. And back in the production section of the room, we have Craig Williams, our producer.
Mm-hmm.
And outside, out the window, we have rain.
Lots of it.
You hear the rain? I hear the rain.
Yes, sounds the torrential downpour.
Sounds like an airplane landing in the backyard. Someone just said a few minutes ago.
Yes, which led on to one of the greatest conversations we've ever had.
I know. Awesome, right?
Too bad it wasn't caught on tape.
Well, you know.
It technically was.
Some things we just need to keep private. It was an awesome conversation. But there usually are if Craig's involved.
Yes. He's always very entertaining. A good addition to our conversations.
Yes. It's like, sometimes it's like he was raised in my house. Because we share a lot. It's just like, wow, were you there when I watched that movie? Okay.
But see, no one, okay, let's get up. Well, it's not going to be the issue. This is going to be the pre-issue.
Okay.
And that's that for some reason, people don't know that you're sarcastic and snarky and all that. I guess they don't see it.
Really?
Yeah, because a lot of
that's so true.
A lot of the comments I've been seeing lately is, Craig's harsh style and over sarcasm doesn't really mesh well with the two of you.
Very
and
sweet Teresa.
Someone pointed out, Teresa's pretty much the exact same person as Craig, just a lady.
Yeah, 30 years older and a female.
Yes.
What's that about? Why would they think I wasn't sarcastic?
I don't know. I guess everything.
Because I say it with a smile.
That must be it.
Yeah,
I got a lot of that when I first started working for the Diz. People thought that I was coming down on you and attacking you, and that I was being really witchy and picking on poor Teresa.
Well,
and I was like,
I remember those days.
Have you met Teresa?
Yeah.
Because you're the one who's always, picking on me.
I know. What's that about?
I don't know. People
Does it bother you? I'm sorry.
No, that's how we relate. That's how I know that you love me.
That's how I relate to everybody. That's why my children are in therapy. I mean, it's the whole, that's my world.
That's how I know that you love me.
Right? Because if I'm not coming back at you with something evil, then
you don't care enough for us to be on your radar.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
If I'm sweet to you, look out, because something's not right.
Then something's
not
really
right.
wrong.
And you know that. You pick up on that.
I know.
When I'm quiet and sweet and nice,
that's
you're
when
like,
I ask you, what's wrong?
What's wrong?
Tell me, let's talk. What's the problem?
Wow. But I do have an issue for the week. Wait, he was drinking coffee.
Yeah,
Let me do that again. I have an issue. Sorry, caught you with the coffee in your hand.
You did.
All right, so I am getting ready for family members and friends to travel into our area and come to my house, and I need to prepare for this because the holidays are coming up. Thanksgiving's just
around.
Yeah, it's around the corner. Christmas is right on the tail of that. New Year's is right on the tail of that. I like having friends over. I like to have my house in order, and I'm panicking. I'm in panic mode now, which I do the first of every November. First couple weeks in November, I'm in panic mode because things need to get done because I'm so busy all the time. I can't do them.
Yeah.
So I'm revisiting something that I did years ago, and it's called FlyLady.com.
I love Fly Lady.
Now listen. Okay, do you do this on a regular basis?
I used to be hardcore about it.
Okay, I was too, years ago.
Yes.
When I was a stay-at-home mom.
Yes.
I was all about the Fly Lady. Do you know anything about this, Craig?
Absolutely not.
Okay, well, let's explain Fly Lady.
Okay, so
FlyLady.com.
Yeah, explain FlyLady.com.
Is an organizational system. It is a program that anyone can follow if you're desiring to get your life in order, to keep
your home life,
to help you maintain your home, stay on top of your bills. It just basically teaches you skills that you need in order to keep things running, to stay on
So
top.
things don't pile up.
Right. To
Okay.
stay on top
Clutter
of
and
things.
daily activities. Okay. So I signed up again
Like
last night for
clearing
Fly
your
Lady.
hotspots. It's got
Yeah.
it's got its whole separate lingo. It's very
Okay,
exciting.
so-
You're describing what I believe is also known as in scholarly worlds as a planner or a calendar.
Okay,
this is
no,
not
no,
a
this is much
calendar.
more. Okay,
this
so
is a system.
For instance, okay, so last night I signed up for it again. Immediately in my inbox.
Are you doing your crisis holiday cleaning?
Okay, hang on. I'm not there yet. Immediately in my inbox, I received 5 emails. And then this morning I woke up to morning routine. Here's my morning routine. Get dressed, fix your hair and face, swish and swipe your bathroom, which means your sink has got to be clean. That's a big thing about keeping your sink clean. Make your bed, check your calendar, reboot your laundry, and figure out what's for dinner. Okay, so I did all that this morning. I come back and I'm on to the next email. And it was mission 13, Wednesday Anti-Procrastination Day. And 15 minutes, pull one thing at a time out from under your bed, deal with it. Only 15. Don't take it all out because it will be too much if there's a lot under
Right,
there.
just 15 minutes.
15 minutes. 15 minutes. And also, another thing for today was get your online shopping done for Christmas. Get it done. Be done with it. Don't procrastinate. Don't put it off because you'll be able to get what you want and then won't be out of something and it'll arrive for Christmas. So immediately it's called holiday cruising this year. Holiday cruising. There's so much. And another one was something about dusting. This morning there was something about dusting. Okay, so I whirled around and I did all these. I worked my way through these emails and trying to get everything done, and I'm exhausted. And then I got to get onto my real world and stuff. But I did, from the last time I did this, I did keep some of the things with me, like the little 15-minute things,
Right, 15 minutes clearing your hotspot and
clearing the hot spots and all. Okay, so by the time Thanksgiving comes in a week and a half, 2 weeks, I'm going to be ready. And the people traveling in I'll be able to enjoy them because I won't be, usually I'm the night before kind of person. The night before Thanksgiving, the night before somebody arrives. What? I am like up, shoving crap. Well, okay, so I cleaned, remember when I called and I told you I cleaned last week because we were having company over.
Right.
And maybe it was you I told. This was the first time, and then I can't remember how long, that I did not box up a box of crap and just shove it in the garage to deal with later. I didn't have any of that. It all just went where it was supposed to be. So it's supposed to make me calmer. It'll make me more efficient. It'll make me be a better person, better work. I mean, Craig.
I have to say I do
Sorry.
love this system.
Sorry, you said you signed up. Does that mean you're paying them?
No, there's no pay.
It's
Okay.
a free thing.
It's
You
free.
register for it, and then they send you the emails. Here's the thing I don't like about Fly Lady. One of their main things is anti-clutter. And yet pretty much the first thing it does is clutter your email inbox.
Yes.
I hate that.
But there's different things now. There's different levels.
Yeah. Even
where
still.
you can get the less clutter one. But it said for coming back or first timers, go with this one, and
Mm-hmm.
it is cluttering up my email box. But I will say, I don't have time to follow it letter by letter.
Right.
Because
No,
I would just
that's-
constantly be doing this crap.
that is
I'm
the
picking and
stay-at-home
choosing.
mom
and I
that
did
has the
that
time for
before.
that, right. I did
But
as
now
well.
it's like I just want to maintain and I want to go back
Mm-hmm.
and get some of those habits back. Because I remember my mother telling me this story. She used to carpool to work, okay? And she was the first one, the guy that drove left from town A, passing through town B, which was Biggsville, picking her up, going on to town C, picking up one other woman, and then heading on to work. It was like a straight line going over to where they worked in Iowa. And Mom said every time they got to the lady's house after her house, they would have to wait in her driveway and wait and wait and wait because she was in her house going through this list of things that she wouldn't leave her house until the dishes were done, the bed was made, everything was in order, and looked like Mad Men, looked like somebody lived there in the early 60s, you know? And it would always frustrate my mother because, you know, when she left the house, breakfast dishes were in the sink and the beds were not made, and
Sure.
we're all frantically trying to get out of the house. But maybe the other way is maybe you have to add it into your time to make it work. But I don't know.
So it's just forcing you to get into a routine.
Yes.
And
In a fun way.
And helping remind you of the things that you need to do in order to maintain it rather than forgetting it, procrastinating.
Because I'm a list maker. I'm always making lists.
It's helpful with trips too. The system comes, with checklists of things to do when you're preparing for travel, and it's a whole
Way of
lifestyle
life, yeah.
thing. It's not just a calendar.
Well, yeah, no, I see. I get that. It's just like I get routines. That's how I live my entire life. I didn't ever have to have anyone to force me into it.
Okay.
So that's where the whole concept is beyond me. But I do understand there are people who don't know how to
Craig,
get into routines.
When I was the routine list making fanatic when I was your age, okay? My apartment was in order, my life was in order, and everything. And then I got married. It's happening, honey. I know you're already living together, but okay, you're going to get married. And then if you choose to have children, when the children start arriving,
They do you in.
things start. When I had Max, my life was still in order. And I'm not saying they created.
I held on until number
on.
3.
Oh, I
Number
was good.
3, I
It
crashed.
killed you.
I crashed and burned.
Grace came along and everything was still good, Stella came along. Maybe it had something to do with my age. I don't know. But it was just like, okay, we're going to live the life of hoarders and we're going to eat out all the time and nobody's ever going to see anybody and you can wear those socks 3 days in a row. It's okay. Mommy will do laundry at the end of the week. That's the life I took over when Stella came into my world. I don't want her to go away for any reason. I mean, I love her. I love the fact that she's there most of the time. But it took over my world. And these people that I see, these perfect little moms at the PTA meetings that are handling everything perfectly, really, truly, and completely piss me off. Because somewhere in their day, they've got to be hiding in a closet crying and eating chocolate and shaking and falling apart. Because nobody can be as perfect as they're making it seem that they are.
Well, I certainly don't know, but...
But I thought that's the way you were when I met you.
No.
But I've been to your house now. I know it's not true.
Thanks.
Oh, so then you don't like Chris Williams then?
Chris Williams.
Is her house is in order.
Chris Williams would be my mother.
Is her house in order?
Yeah.
And they
Well,
go
I've never- well-
and they go miniature golfing all the time.
That's true.
Her house being cluttered is there will be a stack of mail on the counter that is unacceptable to be there.
That's how I used to be. But when Ellie came number 3, I tanked. I tanked
technically, like dog toys all over the floor, but you can only control your dog so much to the point.
That's
But-
what it was with kids' toys. You can only control them so much.
Yeah.
Now
No, I love your mother. But I never had to deal with her in a PTA meeting or look at her in a PTA meeting, Maybe I wouldn't like her then. I
Don't be
know.
so sure in the future.
I don't know.
Who knows what'll happen?
I don't know. I'm just going to use it as a tool.
good for you.
to help me.
Meanwhile, I'm going to keep
Because I
continuing
have
to
other
run away
tools.
from my house.
I have other tools that I'm working on to get myself in order because I personally am falling apart. And I feel like if I don't take care of myself, then I can't take care of everything else.
Yeah.
So
It's a balance.
it's a balance.
It's
But right
definitely a
now it's
balance.
just like crazy. So,
Yeah.
and the holidays and all. So,
All right.
I will say that grapes are not a replacement for chocolate. I'm trying, but they're not. So, okay, I'm done.
keep
My
it going.
issue's over.
All right. Well, so how about we get into a little bit of trip talk? There was no graceful segue there. I was going over
were
in
trying
my
to
mind.
figure it out.
I was trying to find the way. I was going to say something about,
Escaping.
escaping my house, and I was going to do this
That
whole
would've been
segue
good.
into the escape
Yeah.
game. But then it just, in my mind, there was no way that I could have done that without everyone acknowledging or recognizing that I was forcing that and being cheesy. So.
I don't think we needed that. I think just ending it on the grapes are not a replacement for chocolate. We could have just
Did it?
ended the show at that point.
At that point, we're
It's
good.
fine.
That's my bumper sticker for the week. As much as I'm trying, it's just not working for me.
All right. But to the point of the actual episode, the escape game on International Drive, we ventured out there this last week and had a great time. For those of you that don't know what the escape game is, there's kind of been this, I guess, Craig, would you say it's a trend that these places with this concept are starting to pop up? Because we've got a couple here in Orlando. There's Escapology and the escape game.
Oh yeah, no, they're. I believe they started out like in bigger cities and were wildly popular. I mean, because let's face it, people like. I mean, you hear escape game and you think something bad all the way. It's not It's not bad at all like that. It's just it's practical problem solving and riddles and stuff that actually forces you to use your brain.
It's
Right,
a
it's
board
not-
game come to life.
It is. You're
kind of, for me.
living in an environment that you have to interact with and do a lot of problem solving. Like he said, it's an activity along the lines of okay, it's not the same activity. Understand, I'm not saying this is the same concept, but you go out to play laser tag for a little while. It's something that keeps you active. It's not computer simulated. You're not in your iPhone or it's
Which I like.
I
like the
love
fact
that
it wasn't
as well.
like a app on my phone.
Right. What it is you're locked in a room for an hour. You have to search the room for clues and begin to put together these clues to solve riddles, puzzles that take you through a particular storyline.
Propel you through the storyline. Yeah.
And ultimately, the goal is to achieve whatever you're told to achieve in the storyline so that you can escape the room that you've been locked in. The escape game has 3 different scenarios that you can play. There's the heist, prison break, and classified, and they come at different levels of difficulty, with classified being the lowest level of difficulty. It's a 7 out of 10. 2 to 7 players can play. The idea behind that one is you're working for an international anti-terrorist organization, and you have to stop an international terrorist threat, and you do that by gathering
my.
details of
That's
an
the
impending
lowest one?
attack. That's the lowest level of difficulty as far as solving the problems and putting the puzzles
Why
together.
can't the government figure that stuff out then? Okay, go ahead.
Well, exactly.
Right?
It's all simple stuff, but we elect the wrong people.
Woo! Remember
Politics.
that part where you're not supposed to talk about religion or politics. Okay, then there's the heist, which is the one that our group chose to do. That's a difficulty of 8 out of 10.
Wow.
You can do it with 2 to 7 players, and we'll get more into that in a minute because that's the one that we actually did experience. So we'll talk about that in great detail. The last one is Prison Break, which is the one that Tess wanted to do,
It's the one I wanted, yeah.
but it's also the one of greatest difficulty.
It was a skill that I thought I might need.
It's a 9 out of 10. So
Really?
yeah, you might
To get out of prison?
Apparently so.
Wow, we got to go back for
And
that
this one is 2 to 6 players. So, and obviously the idea is to be able to break out of prison.
Okay, go back. Ours was 2 to 7 players.
Yeah, classified and heist is 2 to 7 players. The prison break is 2 to 6 players.
2 to 7 players. 7 players in that room would have been chaos. It would have
Maybe
been, I'll just
yes
stand
and
up
no.
against the wall and wait for it to be over.
Well, let's get to that in a second. I want to throw out a few more
Okay.
stats before we get into the whole thing. The website for this place is Orlando Escape Game, OrlandoEscapeGame.com, and that's where you need to go to book your reservations for it. And it is very much recommended that you book them ahead of time. We talked about the number of people in a group. We actually did ours with just the 3 of us, but had there been more people that were waiting to play, we could have been paired up with other people that weren't in our group that didn't come with us.
Oh, strangers?
Yes. So let's say that there was only 3 of us. You can fit up to 7 people in this game. Unless we were to buy out the room and pay for 7 people, there was the potential for us to get paired with 4 other people in the game.
Oh.
And that would be actually awful and a shame. So I think that's where, if you're doing this, we did it at 10 o'clock in the morning,
Right.
which seems early. But yeah, I think there was one other room that was being used the entire morning. Other than that, it was wide open. So, even though this seems like an activity, I want to do it at night and we'll do something fun and then get some food, drinks, whatever. It might be good, but at the same time, if you do it earlier, then you're probably going to be doing it with just your group alone, and that's a
Which
benefit.
I think, like Craig's saying, I think that's a benefit because this is a game where it's a lot of problem solving. There's an element of competition involved. You're up against a clock, and you don't know, if you don't know the people in your group, you don't know what type of personalities you're going to be coming up against. If
I would have
they're
been
gonna
pissing
be-
people off right and left. I mean, someone you don't know.
or vice versa,
Yeah.
or we would have been, pissing them off because we want to do
if you're
things our
too
way.
aggressive or...
If you're too aggressive or too passive, why aren't you helping? Why aren't you helping enough? If these are people that you're not familiar with, I could see where there could be some problems.
Yeah, wow.
I think the other benefit to bringing your own group is, one thing I learned from this experience is it helps if you have different skill sets. It helps if you have people of different heights, and if you
Yeah,
have
that came
people
into
that
handy.
think different ways. And when you kind of amass your own group of, okay, this person's strong in this area and this person's strong in this area, and you bring them together, you're probably going to be more successful at the game, and it makes it a lot more fun. So that everyone knows, every room is locked, but you are not actually truly locked in the room. If the idea of being locked in a room for, an hour or however amount of time scares you, be assured that every room comes with an exit button that you can be let out of. But if you actually need to leave the room, you're not truly locked down. When you go to do this, you need to arrive about 15 minutes early so that you are there when the game actually, begins to start. Otherwise, you risk missing the start of the game. And the cost is $28 per person. You pay online at the time of booking, and it's non-refundable. This is also an activity that's recommended for people 12 years of age and up, not younger.
Oh, no, not little kids.
Yeah. So I guess, let's talk about our experience. We did the heist. Who wants to start off?
We did the heist, and it was an art heist. It was which I found interesting. The room was the first room was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be, and it seemed pretty empty of things. When you walk in, it's just art on the wall, and they come in and they give you the basic rules. They don't give you any hints off the bat. They just tell you.
Yeah, you kind of have like a basic pre-show where they try to explain the concept to you, although it's coming at you so fast. By the time it was over, I still wasn't entirely sure.
Jill was like, what button do I push?
Yeah, I don't, how does this work? Where do we even start? I do remember having this feeling of like, I don't even know how this begins.
What to do, how to begin.
I was waiting for them to give a first clue or something, go to this area of the room or whatever. It was like, all right, we're done locking you in the room. Have a good time. And we're left standing there, and I'm going.
Standing there with a little walkie-talkie.
Yeah, a walkie-talkie.
A screen over the door with the clock now ticking, starting at 60 minutes.
And you're like, what? What are we supposed to do again?
And
there's
Craig,
paintings hanging on the wall, and there's basically nothing else in the room except for a magnifying glass. And you're like,
a book.
What?
And a book.
Yeah, and
And a
on
stand.
of a podium. Yeah, the whole thing was stressful. And like looking back on it, you said you wanted to do the prison break, the hardest difficulty. Even this one, the prison heist or the bank heist or the heist, the art heist. It was, for us all being first timers, we probably shouldn't have done this one either. We probably should have started with the
classified.
with the most basic level. Like we kind of picked up on it right away without needing that help. Like you just mentioned, all the paintings were all around the room. So before I even grabbed the book and started like looking through it to see if there was any hints on the pages, I started touching all of the frames.
He did. He was like a crazy man.
He was patting down the art.
Running around the room, patting down the art, running his hand across the top, around the side, around the bottom.
And then,
I
of
just
course,
started copying whatever Craig was doing.
What's he doing?
Oh,
Let's do it too.
He's touching the art. Okay, I will touch the frames too. I had no idea. Why are we touching the frames?
But here's the best part for me. Through the entire thing, the whole time we're doing this, Craig has this shitty smile on his face, like he is having the time of his life.
It was so cute. Oh, it was
like,
really
this is so
great.
much fun. And he's just like,
He's lit up like a Christmas tree. Normally, when we go out to these places, he's having a good time, but he's pretty much business. He's with the camera, running here,
he was in
running
game
there.
mode.
And in this one, he was like, "We are gonna do this. We are gonna do this." And he's running around and busy. And does this go with this
It
and
was
this?
fun.
It was almost at times like you and I weren't even in the room.
I know. It was
because
like,
he was
okay,
so engaged.
I'll hold this for you while you do that.
this might be the most fun I've had at any Orlando attraction, and I'm talking theme parks too. Obviously, I've encountered some great experience that are one of a kind through working with the Diz that no other people get to have in terms of
Right.
theme parks. But if I was paying out of pocket, I loved this.
You were
thing.
in your
I'm
element.
Ready to
You
go
could
back.
tell.
I am
the
ready
minute they
to go
shut
back
the
as
door,
well.
he was just
Yeah,
like, "Game on, baby!"
He was ready to go.
was
And
kinda
I'm
like-
standing there going, "I don't understand. What are we doing? Can somebody
when
explain
you
it to
picked
me?"
up the first frame that moved,
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, then we run over there to see what's happening.
That
And-
was the turning. Well, that is when it occurred to me what exactly was supposed to
Right.
happen. Because I literally was standing in the room going, I don't even know where to begin with this. I didn't realize that there were elements of I was kind of just waiting for the screen to light up and give us some kind of direction to follow.
Right.
I didn't realize that we were supposed to just be picking out things in the room and putting it
the
together.
clues together.
Putting clues
there were
together.
things in the room where it said, do not touch, do not move, do not pull on this, do not, which was good because when the one frame went up and we saw what was behind it, but we didn't know what to do with it. They told us what not to do with it.
Right.
And then you found are we going to tell the elements and all this stuff?
Oh, I think we need to be careful
Yeah.
about that.
Okay. When you found the
first
the
thing-
item that had to go with that to make that work,
Right.
then it was like game on.
Yes.
And
Then it came together. It was like, oh, I found this. I don't know what this is for.
Until it didn't work and they had to come in and stop
Right.
our game.
But we had figured out that part was supposed to
Yeah.
connect with another part in the room.
which
and,
caused a reaction in something else.
And then something changed in the room and we could move forward and continue to progress from there. Then we really kind of started to get it.
And
Yeah.
so we did start in this first room, and I would say it was maybe about 10 feet long by 4 feet wide, maybe 5 feet
Little
wide.
L
I mean,
shape,
it was
just a little-
just
little-
a tiny bit,
L.
a very small room. And so, like Teresa said right off the bat, if you have 7 people in there, it would be really cramped. But the thing was, we knew there was the door that we had to, our main door that we came in, that we wanted to try to get out. And then there was another door in there. But they described all these, you're going to see red locks. If it's a red lock, don't touch that one. That one's not supposed to be touched. If it says don't touch, don't do that. So we're in this room, and I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? There's nothing in here
Right.
except for a couple things that
The
say do
art.
not touch.
the art
The
is
art.
all that was there.
Well, because, as we found out, there was a whole other room that then we had to try to get into, and
Right.
Which
that's
was
where
genius.
things went
Right.
crazy.
Right.
It was genius the way
Yeah.
we had to get through that door, right?
It
It wasn't
was
just a
awesome.
matter of unlocking the doorknob. It
I
was
have to tell you, progressing from each of the rooms, because there was 3 of them.
Yeah.
Every time that we actually found out how to get in through the door to the next room was a
it was so exciting.
moment where
It
we
was so
all were.
exciting.
It was really
Going
exciting.
through that first door, that's where the tall Craig came in.
Yeah,
Because
that's where you
well,
really
first
need-
it was
you
like
needed a tall person
First
for
it was
that.
like get on the floor
Yeah.
for part of it. I'm like, okay, well I can't do that because I'll never make it up off the floor again. And then the whole working together and
Oh yeah, it took both of us because
did.
in this one, in particular, JL. If it was just JL in that room, JL
couldn't-
and I, we wouldn't have been able to get
No.
the item to get it, the key to get.
because she
in
couldn't
there.
get up to the height of that door. And then once that door opened and the whole room opened up and it was like you
It
could
was
tell that
great.
room was just Clue waiting to happen, right?
Yeah, and it was fun. And then once we were in that second room, we had a better idea, and we started off much more quickly.
Exactly.
We
So
taking
There were visuals.
apart the room and
Yeah.
understanding. Okay, I found something. I don't know what this is for, but it will come into play
Right?
later.
Lay it
Yeah.
down and move on.
Just remember that it's there because it will probably come
and
into play
moving
at some
from
point.
clue to clue, and there were locks all over that room that needed to be unlocked to reveal other things.
Exactly. And the second, as we said, the first room was the actual art gallery. That's where the Monets and the Van Goghs and all those pieces were. And then the second room we were trying to get into was the
about
actual curator's office.
yeah.
Because, he's a weird curator and he's stealing art for some reason, or maybe we missed a part of that story. But yeah, we wanted to get in the curator's
a
office.
backstory, it's okay.
And it was, it was what you would expect for an
It was like
intelligent
Indiana
person's
Jones's office. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
perfect.
when we walked in. I was like, "Oh my god, look at this room!"
No, wait. It actually had an Indiana Jones hat on the shelf.
I
Did
know
you see that?
it
Okay,
was,
yeah.
but it was not so book cluttered, as
Yeah,
Indiana Jones
right,
would have been.
yeah.
But it gave me that vibe when we came in. The jacket on the back of the chair and the artifacts sitting around.
Now, something
and-
that we really need to talk about is how the people who are running, you're being watched the whole time.
which kind of creeped me out in the beginning.
Yes, but but after a while, we became a bit reliant on.
You know
that
they're sitting
because
out there laughing their heads off.
They want, yeah, I'm sure they are. You have an hour to complete this this goal, and there's things that you can do to penalize your time, and but the people that are watching, ultimately, they want you to finish on time. They want you to feel
want
like
you to
you've accomplished
succeed.
it. And so they would see at times when we were struggling, You
then
know, we'd get the little doo 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 sound, and we knew that there was
We'd
a
all look to the
clue
screen.
flashing up on the screen, like, have you checked the whatever, or
yeah.
have you found 3 canvases? Have you done this? And then it would
Right.
kind of help if we were veering. I knew you could tell, because if we began to veer too far off into a direction that was taking us
nowhere.
on some kind of,
Yeah.
down some kind of weird rabbit hole, we'd get the doo 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 to kind of bring us back,
back on.
and set us back on track.
How long did he say it took us to get out of that first room? About 20 minutes? 25
Took
minutes?
us longer than it should.
Yeah,
have.
it
We
took us
struggled
way
with
longer.
We were slow to begin, I
We
know.
struggled in that first room because we didn't know what was going on.
Right.
Exactly, and that's where moving on to doing another puzzle, if we ever went and did it again, or if I did it with my friends, I know it wouldn't take that long, because
Right.
now you know the general concept. You know that
Right.
you have to leave no square inch of the room untouched,
Right.
and you're going to find the stuff that goes along with it, and you just have to inspect everything more. We didn't. We were just hoping that something was going to pop out and hit us, and that's not
We're
the
all
case.
looking at art. Oh, there's a Monet.
It's all about using your brain.
It is, and it was amazing.
It was so much fun.
So we're in the second room, and we're putting the pieces together, bit by bit by bit.
Do you mean the puzzle pieces specifically?
Just in general,
Oh,
the
okay.
pieces to the
the
heist or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're putting it together, trying to figure out what to do, and we're down to we kind of got stuck there just for a minute, and boo 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 boo, here comes, and you get 3 free clues, right?
Well, the ones that we request, we can request clues for free 3 times. Although they were very helpful in offering them.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
And then
when
after
we get
you've
them.
used up your 3 free ones,
then you get penalized time wise.
Right.
They add 3 minutes onto your total time.
right? So we're in there, we get a little stumped, and then we get rejuvenated there, and we get the little clue that we need, and we're running around moving pieces, and I mean, it was
When-
there's a black light.
My favorite part of the entire thing is when we were in the second room, and we pretty much had finished up that room and broke the code that we needed to, and then this secret door opens up.
That scared the crap out of you. You were standing right in front of it.
It did scare the crap out of me, but at the same time, I got so excited, and I was just like, this is the coolest thing I've
This
ever
is so
done in
cool,
Orlando.
because the third room was pitch black,
And then you walk in.
and I shoved you into it.
Yes, you did. She did shove me into the dark room that had bars in it where the stolen painting was behind, and then we had to figure out
And
how
laser lights.
Or
Yes.
so you thought it was stolen.
Right. That's right. I mean, the whole thing was just
Yeah, it was great.
There
And
were
we had
no-
to figure out how to break through the
never
bars.
once in this 60-minute experience did I ever in my head go, this is stupid. This is lame.
No,
And
Never.
not at all.
they make you put all your belongings in the room. So, like, they recommended, like, for us, we knew each other, so we all put our stuff in a basket, and we didn't have to worry about, like, if we have strangers in there, maybe I
Right.
don't want to share the same basket as them, so put your
Right.
stuff in the car. We didn't have to worry about that. I had my my Apple Watch on, and my phone was still close enough that it could pick up the Bluetooth on it, and I was getting text messages, and it was driving me nuts. I was about ready to throw the
Really?
watch back in the room because I just wanted to
You wanted to focus on the
concentrate
game.
Yeah.
solely on this.
And that's how you know that you are having a good time.
And
Right?
the game was just so difficult because, as we said, like, we knew that we needed to leave nothing untouched, but then you get so enveloped in thinking, like, I've got to lift this up and I got to look under that for this, that you forget at some points then something might just be hanging right beside you that you don't pay attention to. Because you're looking for that hidden.
We kept going back. It's on the Scrabble board, but we were jumping ahead.
There was something on the Scrabble board, but we were
weren't ready for
going
it.
there too quickly.
We weren't ready
Yeah.
for it, and it was just, we knew it involved the blue lights on the map, and it involved this and that, and it was just, and all the boxes. Some were combination letters, some were combination numbers. And it was just wild. We flew through that.
Yeah, some
and
of
I
it
kept
was
looking
putting
up and
together
going, 10 minutes left.
literal
or,
puzzles and solving riddles, and there was a little bit of math involved.
Oh,
and,
yeah, there was math involved.
tricky things with mirrors and lasers, and it was just magnifying
little bit of
glasses. It was
everything.
so
It was
so
just-
cool.
yeah.
I loved it. And it got a bit tense there at the end because we knew that the clock
Oh, we was down. We were down under 5 minutes.
Yeah, and we couldn't. This is when we're talking about. It's good to have different types of people. It is. At one point, we needed Craig because of his height, and he had to look into something, and he was the only one tall enough to really look. And then we needed you at another point. I was too small to put my to reach the hole to put my hand through, and you were able to do that. And then at the end, we needed something out of a container, but we couldn't get the key quite right. And in the end, it ended up being my fingers were smaller, so I was able to manipulate that key off the ring in order to open up the thing that we needed.
And the whole thing, even though
Right there
when
at
we
the
got
end.
to the end and we were back to the Scrabble board where we knew we would at some point we were going to be, it was a joint effort on, this is what we need to do. Why aren't these numbers working? I mean, we figured it out together what we needed to do.
It definitely was a teamwork.
It was. And I think if you had too many people in there,
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
it would just be, get out of my way. I can do this myself.
I could easily see how this would be and
Yes.
become an anger situation.
But wouldn't you love to have 2 rooms and you're fighting, you're like battling each other who gets
Oh.
out quicker?
You can do that.
That would be
because
fun.
they record. I mean, the people at the end of they have on their website. They'll even post up on their website today's high scorers are, and high scorer meaning the people who are quickest to solve, quickest to escape their room. But yeah, if you go in with a larger group, say 14 people, and you split up into 2 different games,
Game on.
You come out and you see who comes down with the
So
quickest time.
Well, we also ruined it too for the second room. Just if anyone goes and plays this game, we already mentioned that then there was a third room. So, but when you walk into the room, there's clearly one door that you're not supposed to go in and out of, and then that would mean, well, there's a hidden door. So,
but you
we're
still
not
don't
telling
know
you where it is.
You don't know where it is, or you don't know how do you get it open.
Exactly.
That's
And that was a big hang up on us. That was about 5 extra minutes of our time.
just waiting it out, and it got down to
The wire.
the wire. And what was our time when we
finally got done with 1.5 minutes to spare. Just 1 minute and about
back
30
to
seconds.
that to get back out.
Before we finally pushed in the final code and hit the thing and went.
And then they
You
come
win,
in,
you win.
congratulations.
You got it. Here's your I escaped
Here's your
bumper sticker. But okay, so we were able to get out of the room in an hour. However, we didn't make the proper time that we weren't because we ended up asking for an extra clue
Really?
that cost us time.
So we didn't make it out in an hour?
No,
we
they
did
added-
make it. We made it out in a physical hour, but didn't it add time
No.
to our? No,
No.
it didn't.
No, they added the 3 minutes on top of it, and we still made it out.
We still
in
made
under
it out
60.
before the 60.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's the whole point. Is you can make it. If you hit 5701 and then ask for that clue, you might make it. They won't. They still let you finish the game. I think to a certain.
But it's going to be
extent.
like 64
But-
minutes and something or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They'll let. I think they'll let you stay longer. We didn't ask it. Probably something we should, but we didn't.
No,
have a
we got
problem
out
with it.
under that 60
Yeah,
minutes.
even
Yeah.
with our additional 3
I
minutes
just
for a
remember
clue
we
we
had a
didn't
minute
need.
and a half left on
Yep.
the clock.
Yeah, no.
Because I remember thinking, 2 minutes left, 2 minutes left.
I know
And
you
they're
were
like working the.
I know because you were yelling at me.
That was my job at that point.
They're screaming.
Do the
They're
numbers.
screaming numbers to me from across the room. They're in the second room and yelling, "Rah!" And I'm in the first room pushing the keypad as
That's
quick
not
as
right.
I can.
That's not right. Do it this
No,
way.
the other way, the other way.
It was so fun. I have to think, in my mind, of all the things that we've done for this show, this went to the top.
Oh, absolutely.
Without a doubt, this went to the top.
I
And
can't
part of it
argue
is
that.
who we were with, but I could see going back with other people.
I will be going back with other people
Yeah.
because, and I would love to do all the different scenarios.
Oh, I would too.
Again, I think if you
What if
have
they
to pick
gift
people
cards?
you
What
know.
a
you-
great gift for somebody.
I
huh?
think
Yeah.
I saw them.
Did you?
Yeah.
That would be an awesome present.
Yep, nice stocking stuffer to be
Yeah.
able to give somebody the experience of this. So much
Yeah.
Fun.
It was just so good.
It was such a great time. So yeah,
I got to break out of prison though. Even though that's yeah, we got to go back and break out of prison.
I'm on board. You give me a call, we'll do
Yeah,
it. We'll
we
do
have
it,
to.
and obviously we'll be bringing that one.
We
Oh,
got to
no.
bring Craig.
This, honestly, like we went to Ripley's and we talked about that experience and how, well, you're looking around. It could technically be a little bit educational, but also strange and bizarre. This is truly, it's an hour long, so for $28, that's kind of expensive for that hour.
just an hour.
That's putting money per person. However, this is something that will test your brain more than anything else I've done in Orlando, and to me, that's where it's the value. I love doing puzzles at
It's
home.
team
I love
building,
competitiveness.
too. Yes.
Team building, yes. It's all those things wrapped into one. Like we joked when the people asked us, "Oh, where are you from?" Orlando. This is a work. It's a team building experience, and because I was just kind of BSing with them,
no,
like
it
that,
was
but
true.
It was.
It actually was true, and they do even market it as such for companies to come in.
But
and
Lord,
use
don't
this.
put me in there with John Magi. What the hell? Can you see going in there with different people in the company? Just,
I would love it though. I
Corey
mean,
be all laid back walking around
because you do have to work together in the
You
end
do.
in order to make it happen.
And you have to stay relatively calm. Mm-hmm. But still, there was always that edge of excitement.
This thing can work in so many different ways. I mean, obviously, there's entertainment, friends, family. We've talked briefly about, companies and corporations using it. For older kids, I think this is a great activity for
yeah.
homeschoolers.
Yeah.
Because of the problem-solving skills that, are involved in it. And again, it gets
And it
you
just-
out of your phone.
It does,
You're
and it
doing
pulls you
something
closer
that's not-
together. Could you see do it with the kids?
Well, I don't think that mine are quite old enough. Maybe Margot. I could see doing this with Margot. Ellie would be a little bit too much
No,
for Ellie.
I think Stella would jump in I think Grace would think it would be hokey. I think Max is an adult, but I think this would pull Grace or Stella right out into, interacting with other people.
See, and
Maybe we'll have to go again, and then I would bring Margot, you
Yeah.
can bring Stella, and we can give it a go.
I obviously can't speak for it because I have kids, but however, if I was around that age, right, where they say recommended for 12, I wish that my parents would push me something on it, even though they might not think I was smart enough per se. This is where you start to test your real world experience.
I
if you want to
agree.
push your kids out of the box, this is something that you actually should think about.
I agree. That's why I'm
Because
thinking
every
of Stella.
child needs to know how to steal art.
Right?
They all need to know how to.
phone down.
They all need to know how to operate a heist.
Yeah, get
or a
off
prison
Instagram.
break.
Don't look at the art, baby. Interact with the art.
Well, yes,
And we had to.
Yes, I love this because it's got such a high element of interaction, and yet it's not a video game.
Right? And you're not doing it alone.
Right.
You're doing it. You're forced to do it with other people. And you know,
Right.
one person in there by themselves, I don't think could do it.
No,
There's no way.
No, well,
I'd
that's
like to
why
do
every
this.
game
No.
is two.
Right.
There's at least
You
it's
could.
a minimum
And even
of two
people, I think, would be a little on the trying
It would
side.
be really challenging.
They
for
would
those two
have to
people.
be completely, still very smart, very intelligent, but the complete opposite thinking patterns. So
Because you couldn't. There's not all of us thought of any of everything.
No.
Right.
We all had our own little.
Craig
Exactly.
was thinking about things that would have never occurred to me. I think I threw a few things in there.
I think we
that,
all did.
Yeah, we did.
We all did.
I
But the look on his face when he just started touching the art, it was like
Yeah.
we're standing in the middle of the room going, okay, let's
he
touch
was
the art
on his
too.
game with this because for most of the time I definitely felt very useless and mentally challenged.
Well, we threw our stuff in there,
we all played a part at some point.
but he was definitely team leader.
Oh man.
I'm overly competitive. That's
for
where
sure.
And we needed
if we
it.
would have worked, but if we would have worked together a little bit better, which I would do the next time, maybe step back and try to not be so controlling. I think we would have got out of there even quicker. But sometimes, I just wanted to.
Oh, you were powering through.
Whenever we were in the final vault with the fake art, stolen art, with the stolen art, if I would have let one of you guys go into the actual cage instead of just bursting my way through, there's a good chance. There's a good chance that
did.
we would have found what we needed to find in that room quicker, and
Yeah.
we didn't, and that was my fault.
well,
but-
it's the whole thing with the
Although I'm glad you did that because
Getting
when the
through-
bars broke, it scared the
that was
crap
all,
out
yeah,
of
that
me.
was loud. Getting through into the second room, though, there is no way you could have done that by yourself.
No, not at all.
And there's no way any one of us could have done it by ourselves.
No.
Because
Yeah.
we would have known what to do, but we couldn't have done it
Right.
because of physical limitations.
I do think if I was to do this again, with our group, with our work group, as much as I love the other people that we work with, I don't think I would want to add anyone to it because after doing it the first time together, I think
Yeah.
we would probably kill if we could go like 3-on-3 with other people in our company.
Yeah.
I think we would actually.
We'd be
win.
the original team, and then we'll have we'd spank him. It'd be cool. It'd be fun.
We're going to set this up.
We are. Who are we going to put in the other room? But I think it would be fun.
I think so too. We definitely need to make a return. I don't. I mean, does anybody else have anything that needs to be said about that? This
I
is
could just
thumbs
keep
up
talking
all
about it.
around.
Yeah, there were no downsides to this.
None
I just
at
cannot
all.
wait to get back.
It's worth the price.
It's worth the price. It's worth the time. It's worth absolutely everything.
It's worth the travel.
Yep.
It is. Oh,
It
yes.
is worth making the trip to go
Yeah.
and do this.
The trip. I see you put that in there.
Yeah, you like
No,
that?
it is. That was nice.
See how I did that?
It was, yeah, thumbs up all around. If I had more than two, I'd be,
Yeah, clearly the best thing we've done in Orlando
Yeah.
to date.
Absolutely.
All right.
cool.
Well, so there you have it. Our very strong opinion about the Escape game. Rave reviews all around. We hope to see you next week for another exciting episode of The Trip. We're talking about something. What are we talking about? Oh, we are doing another dining review.
We are. You've been again? I've never been.
Yes, we'll be going to Slate on Sand Lake Road, also known as Restaurant Row, a very famous street in Orlando, known for all of its awesome dining
choices.
options.
Yeah,
Yep.
dining options.
Right next to Trader Joe's, too, nonetheless. Another
right. Well, I'm
exciting
excited about this.
destination for everyone.
Well, not even right beside. They are literally in the same building.
In
Oh,
the
really?
same
Have you been
building.
here
Physically
before?
connected.
Have you been to Slate before?
I haven't been to Slate yet, but at least we know if it's crap, then we can just walk across,
Yeah.
walk right beside and get
Go
good
to
food.
Trader Joe's.
Trader
Right.
Joe's. Okay, awesome.
So,
I can't wait.
haven't been yet, but we're going to be going, and you're going to get to hear about it next week. So we hope that you'll join us then. Trip out.
Classy.